It's been too long, Your Highness. But try to temper your joy, will you? This is a war after all.
To say such a thing at a time like this. You have not changed one bit.
Don't let looks deceive you. I've had a rough go of it ever since I crossed blades with those traitors in Ferdiad. When I heard you'd been executed, I rushed there as fast as I could, blind with fury. When I got there, I was fed some garbage about not being able to see your body. The next thing I knew, I was gripping my blade and...
He is such a protective surrogate, Dad. Like... uh... Rodrigue, we love you. This chapter should just be called Rodrigue is a badass.
Gilbert, you have done well to locate His Highness. I am truly grateful. And you, I have you to thank as well. Well, we are in your debt. I will repay you for this someday, I swear it. And you, Felix, you have also done well to bring His Highness here.
Tell us all you know, Rodrigue.
I'm afraid there's not much to tell. You are aware that the western region of the kingdom was taken by the Empire, correct?
Yes, so I have heard. They are now calling it the Fargus Dukedom, or some nonsense.
If you know that much, then the rest won't take long. Enemy or not, it's undeniable that Cornelia's plan was nothing short of genius. After seizing power, she invited the Imperial army to Ferdiad. There, she reorganized her troops, and then sent soldiers to hunt me down. Because of that, we were forced to act defensively, and now we're being forced into a difficult battle. She's been controlling the situation all along.
So that's been the witch's plan from the start. I should have killed her ages ago.
Your Highness, Ferdiad is in a terrible state right now. The tyranny is unbearable, and so the rebellions are endless. Refugees starve to death in the streets. If I may speak freely, Your Highness, we should change course for Ferdiad and take down those traitors before we embark to Enbar.
There's no time for that. We must annihilate Enbar before all else.
Think this through. I understand wanting to destroy the Empire and the Emperor. I want that so much it hurts. But which is more important, the dead or the living?
Now there is the armor-piercing question. Unfortunately, Dimitri is gonna steamroll right over it.
Silence!
No, Dimitri. You will hear me out.
And for anybody who ever says that nobody stands up to Dimitri and his bullshit, Exhibit A, Rodrigue.
Are you asking me? Asking the dead to forgive that woman?
No, I would not ask that of you. What I am asking is that you allow us to prioritize the kingdom capital over the imperial capital for now. As Lambert's close and trusted friend, I am confident that he would have advised the same.
Do not dare to put words in the mouths of the dead. They are your words alone, even if you borrowed their lips.
Of course, the problem here is that Dimitri is also putting words in the mouths of the dead. He's just not aware of it because even if hallucinations are not real to the person who is experiencing them, they are as good as real. Like, if you ever see somebody who is hallucinating, telling them it's not real is not gonna help them because it's still gonna feel real to them. It's not gonna help. And he is not in the state of mind where he can accept differing opinions at this point.
Until I offer up that woman's head, Father will remain a slave to his lingering regret and hatred. Even now, he suffers. It is ceaseless. As we waste time with idle chatter, his suffering continues.
And this is one of the things that I feel like a lot of people miss. Dimitri is not trying to go on a murderous rampage. He's not trying to go after Edelgard for his own sake. He's doing it because legitimately the hallucinations he has from the tragedy of Dusker make him believe that his father cannot pass on peacefully. His father is suffering, stuck, basically unable to move on into whatever great beyond exists because the people who were responsible for the tragedy of Dusker are not yet dead. And until that is resolved, Dimitri believes his father really cannot pass on. It's not for his own selfish sake that he is pursuing so much violence. It is for the sake of granting peace to the dead.
You are my king, our king. Wherever you lead, we will follow. But Your Highness, there are those who take up their sword in the name of revenge, and yet along the way, lose the strength and composure to follow through. You would do well to bear that in mind.
Foreshadowing.
Ah, I nearly forgot. Take this, Your Highness. The time has come for it to be wielded by its true master.
Eretvar, the hero's relic once wielded by my father.
Just casually handing us a hero's relic, which is suspiciously shaped like a hand, because, again, the hero's relics are corpses of the genocided children of the goddess. This one is interesting because the combat art that comes with it, Atrocity, is effective against everything. And remember, effectiveness causes triple damage. So if you use an archer against a flyer, that is effectiveness bonus. So you get triple damage, similar to crit damage. So theoretically, if you get a crit hit against something that you are effective against, you get 9 times the damage. And this is effective against everything. Even normal foot soldiers. You can be infantry, which does not normally get any effectiveness against it. You can be infantry, and if somebody comes at you with Atrocity, with the combat art from this relic, it's going to cause triple damage. And because Dimitri has a crest that can double his damage, and because he can very easily crit with his attacks, it is entirely possible to get upper triple digits with this weapon. Like, you can legit do above 400, 500, 600 damage with this weapon, if you're lucky. It is just insane.
The very same. I managed to steal it back from one of Cornelia's underlings in Ferdiad.
Understated as ever, Father. It must have been a true struggle to get it back.
I am grateful, my friend.
Aww, we're making progress. Now we're actually thanking people for stuff. So you can see that Dimitri's mental state is improving. Hey, Malguardian. So you can see his mental state is improving a bit. He is becoming a bit more social. He is becoming a bit more appreciative of his allies, especially the ones who have known him for a very long time, like Roderick. But yeah, the hallucinations of his dead loved ones still torment him, and that's not going away anytime soon.
Gilbert, Professor, may I request something of you? I wish to fight at your side.
Senile already, old man? Who will protect our territory?
I expected it would come to this, so I left those matters to my younger brother. He has my complete faith. I must keep my promise to our fallen king, to my dear friend. A very old one. I swore it nearly 10 years ago. Now then, Your Highness, let's destroy the Empire together. My men and I will spare no effort. I pray that you are right, and that this will save the kingdom.
Oh, we'll try. Yeah, I am not going to let Dimitri use Arethbar. That would just be too overpowered.
Capture Enbar by striking the enemy's stronghold directly. How familiar are you with the geography of Fodlan?
You missed the Battle of Aelel, my guardian. So, you missed me having to rewind like 5 times in the first turn because I was stupid about how I set up my team. You missed Dimitri going around in circles trying to catch Gwendol for about 10 turns until I finally decided, you know what, fuck it, we're just gonna go the other way around. And you missed a bunch of dialogue with Roderick. But yeah, speaking of VODs, I still haven't uploaded the old ones to YouTube. I really need to get on that. Oh my god. I'm just gonna pretend I know what I'm talking about and just say very familiar.
Then you must be aware that the kingdom and the empire are separated by the impassable Ogma Mountains, right? Legend has it that Saint Seros once crossed over those mountains to fight against the Fell King Nemesis. But don't fool yourself. Leading a large army over such steep mountains would be near impossible.
In order to infiltrate the Empire, we have no choice but to go around the mountains, either to the east or to the west.
You can practically see Byleth going, oh crap, where do I go, where do I go? The right answer is to go east, by the way. We need to get to the Great Bridge of Myrden.
Yes, I agree. The Alliance is currently split in two. Those who stand with the Empire and those who are against it. Leading the Imperial faction is House Gloucester, while House Regan leads those who oppose. We should take advantage of their internal conflict and proceed east along the mountains until we reach the Great Bridge of Myrden in Alliance territory.
The Aramid River divides Alliance and Empire territory. There are many large bridges that cross it. However, the Great Bridge of Myrden is by far the largest, and it is also closest to the monastery. I believe you crossed that bridge 5 years ago on your journey to the Battle of the Eagle and Lion.
Yeah, but we did it off screen, so we don't remember anything.
I'm afraid it's a possibility, but it's still more practical than passing through the west.
Perhaps our next move should be to contact House Regan and request their cooperation. Claude of House Regan is the leader of the Alliance and is firmly against the Empire. They are the enemy of our enemy. In other words, hopefully, a friend.
Are you suggesting that we ask House Regan to engage the Gloucester soldiers?
I am. If we take the bridge, then House Gloucester will no longer be able to receive support from the Empire. There's no way a man as wise as Claude would refuse our request.
And once we manage to capture the Great Bridge and gain a foothold into the Empire,
then we cross Gronder Field and head south toward Enbar.
But if we get attacked from both sides, we'll have to fight people from the Alliance, won't we?
of course, if we get blocked in by the Alliance, we'll have to fight our way out. That means you'll have to cross blades with your old schoolmates.
If you do not wish to kill familiar faces, do not tarry over the corpses of the dead.
Actually, we have already recruited everybody, so it's not like we would have to fight much of anything. We would have to fight maybe Claude, and that would be it.
Good advice.
Seeing as we recruited his entire house out from underneath him.
Yourselves. It is time to steal your souls for the task at hand.
Yeah, it's literally just Claude. Like that's what's left of that house. That's all the golden deer that are left. It's literally just Claude. Everybody else is with us.
Part 2. Azure Moon. Lone Moon. The Rose-Colored River. The Kingdom Army meets with Rodrigue in Aelel, the Valley of Torment. With the strength of House Fraldarius on their side, the time to invade the Empire is finally at hand.
Alright. So I have no idea how long this chapter is going to be. The good news is at the end of this chapter we are going to get back Dedu and Lawrence. So we'll finally have all of our people back.
Even though it's in ruins, in some strange way, this monastery never truly changes, does it? I studied at the Officers' Academy when I was young. Those memories come rushing back whenever I return. What are you doing here at this hour anyway? It's the same for me. Perhaps you'll allow me to join you. Much appreciated. I keep recalling my eldest son. He was quite gifted. In fact, he was appointed a knight at the age of 15. I still vividly remember the day he was granted a sword from His Majesty. Dead. He was killed 9 years ago in Dusker. All that returned of him that day were his sword and his armor. After it happened, I said something horrible to Felix. He's hated me ever since, and I don't blame him.
Said horrible thing that he said being, he died like a true knight. Which, you know, it's essentially the equivalent of learning that your child died somewhere overseas as part of the army and saying they died fighting like a true soldier. It's not meant to trivialize their death, but you try to rationalize it any way you can, and you try to find whatever comfort you can. And Felix just does not get that. But the great news is Rodrigue also does not blame him, because Rodrigue understands that the entire situation is messed up and imperfect, and it sucks. It just sucks for everyone involved.
No matter how much you grieve, the dead will never return. No magic in the world can bring them back. That's why their memory clings to the living like a curse.
There is a saying that grief is love with nowhere left to go, which I find very both poetic and very true. Because you don't grieve for people that you didn't love, and the more you loved somebody, the more you grieve. Specifically because they are no longer around, and that love has nowhere left to go.
The more they were loved, the tighter their hold, and the more suffering they cause. I fear I am not a strong enough man to scold His Highness for his foolishness. Right you are. As adults, it is our responsibility to scold him and help him find his way again. I come off as so self-important, but really, I'm just a failure of a man. Professor, I entrust the young prince and the future of Fargus to you.
Yeah, let's just try to be a bit confident.
You are a brave one, aren't you? One worthy of leading the Church of Seros, I dare say. You should know that I have no intention of insisting that you take back Ferdiat. All I ask is that you continue to rein in Dimitri's manic desire for revenge. Now then, we have received House Regan's consent. All that's left is for us to depart.
That was quick.
If we make it through Gloucester territory and across the Great Bridge of Myrddin, we'll be in Empire territory. You are not afraid, are you? Yes, such is war. I'm glad you were the one to lead the Blue Lion House, Professor. I mean that.
Well, yeah, if I hadn't been, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Alright, what do we have? Saint Indak Day. Yes, let's celebrate. Who do we get? Oh my.
It is so much fun to sing with others.
The utter discord. I cannot stand it. I do wish everyone would listen to one another.
Well, at least one of them could use the faith level up. Hilda would like to speak with me. Okay, let's go.
Professor, I asked to be on the sidelines. Why did you put me on the battlefield?
I did not. You were in one battle, milady, and I put you guarding the zone. Nobody even got near you, okay? Let's put that right.
You did protect me, so I guess I can't complain. Wait a second, you're hurt. Did that happen when you were defending me? Oh, I thought so. How could you be so reckless? Perhaps you'll say that that's what friends do. They look out for each other and save each other. But if I saw you getting attacked, I wouldn't risk my neck to save you.
So Hilda is the person who would trip you in the zombie apocalypse so that she doesn't get eaten. Got it. I approve.
No, don't overestimate me. I don't know if I've told you this, Professor. I have a very impressive big brother. I'm not just saying that. He's strong, smart, nice. He's basically perfect. Before Claude turned up, People talked about him becoming the next leader of the Alliance. Anyway, my parents have high expectations for my brother, and he almost always meets them. No one expects anything of me. If something's even a little bit difficult, I find someone else to do it for me. That's what I've done my whole life.
That's what's called being a freeloader.
Of course! I can't stand the idea of not meeting someone's expectations. I know how people react when that happens. From watching my brother, I mean. People force their expectations on you, and then if you fail, they look so disappointed. Whenever that happens to my poor brother, he looks just devastated.
That sounds like a them problem, not a you problem, honestly.
So, don't expect anything of me, please. That way, I can't disappoint you. You're stubborn. Okay, fine. Keep believing in me. I do want to support you and support my friends. I just don't want to let you down.
The only thing that's letting me down is your attitude, Hilda. Like, let's be honest. Alright. Oh, Dimitri got a new class. I actually hate this outfit.
A new power. I won't squander it.
I'm gonna be honest, I hate it. I'm gonna put him right back into Holy Knight. Thank you very much. Don't want this. Goodbye. Adios.
Whatever it
Au revoir. Okay. What do we have? Oh, this is actually a battle day. We don't have any meals. Fish Bounty Festival, morale meals. Okay. So we're actually gonna spend this one battling. And then we're going to explore here and here. Because there's literally no reason to go to the monastery right now. There's no event going on, there's nothing. We got like one instruction, but we already got people motivated. Some of them even needed. So it's like we have more than enough people that we can go through. We don't need this bullshit. Okay. Who needs to go into their final classes, please? Felix. Mercedes. Felix and Mercedes and Gilbert. Okay. Mercedes only needs more riding. Although actually she could probably make it. Nah, she needs to get to movement +1 anyway. Felix. Oh god, Felix needs a lot more riding. Oof. And Gilbert, he needs both heavy armor and riding, but we're gonna go with riding. Okay, so Gilbert is in the right class. Felix is going into Cavalier. And who else did we want to take? We wanted to take Mercedes. Mercedes needs to go into Cavalier. Okay. We are going to set up Byleth for a nice long leveling session. Oh, she also needs to go into Cavalier, otherwise she won't be able to level anybody. Oops. Okay. We need broken lance and we need another lance. Actually, let's take the one with the full. No, let's take both. Can't hurt. And a knowledge gem. What does he have? Oh, killer bow and a chest key. Okay. He can keep his bow, although I better equip him with one that can't actually do damage. Gilbert. Do I have a broken axe? Yes, you can take a broken axe. And you can take the other knowledge gem. Excellent. Battle, let's go. I hope this time I remember to set up everything correctly so we don't have to reload a bunch of times. But we are using Byleth for this leveling, so that shouldn't be too difficult. Hopefully.